Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Heather with the Well Fit and Fed and the Junk You Should Know show. So welcome. It's Friday and it's 3 minutes before noon because I have the honor of going out to lunch with my lovely husband today. And so we are going to get underway as soon as the show is over. So I started a little early today. It's his birthday this weekend. Pookie Pie Muffin Pants is turning 50 and we are having a couple little soirees this weekend. So we wanted to get a little time together before the weekend. If you jump on, please tell me where you are from and if you make your own homemade salad dressing. Somebody just jumped on. I want to know if you make your own salad dressing and where you are from, because that's what we're talking about today. We're going to learn dozens of options for salad dressings in 7 simple steps. And I am very much looking forward to it because it's one of my favorite things to make in the kitchen is salad dressings. And of course, we have to talk about our sponsor. And today I thought I would talk about the Change Cave by reading you a little review I received recently. And so this review comes from Julie, and she has been part of the program since its inception in March. And I'm just going to read you what she wrote. She said, "The Change Cave has created a sacred space for all us wellness seekers to come together and connect. It's truly a place that is supportive, inspiring, fun, thought-provoking, and filled with tons of valuable information to help us all learn and grow. The information is transformative and has changed my awareness on many levels of the food I put in my body, how many ways I can creatively increase exercise into my busy life, and expanding the body-mind connection. Thank you for everything, keeping me on track, refocused so I can fully live my wellness why." You guys, the Change Cave price is changing shortly. It is still $23.99 for this incredible 12-module online interactive educational tool. We have a super cool Facebook group of like-minded wellness seekers. We have weekly newscasts. We have mindset classes. It's going to take your wellness pursuits and catalyze them into permanent change in your life. So do check it out. There's always a link below for you to click through and read more about it. So no reason why not. $23.99 a month, cancelable anytime. Check it out, especially before the price changes. And if you get grandfathered in before the price change, that's your price forever and ever and ever. So check that out. And we will be making some announcements because the week before the price change, there is going to be bonuses are back. There's going to be a free onboarding class. There's going to be all sorts of freebies the week before we make that change. So do come and be a part of that. Okay, we're jumping right in to salad dressings. If you still buy store-bought, you're going to change your mind after this. However, there are big improvements in how salad dressing is made these days and bottled. You can get some very, very good options, but always it's better to make it at home. You know exactly what's going in it. There's almost always less sugars and sweeteners, preservatives, all of that stuff, and you just know exactly what you're putting in. And it's so easy. It takes seconds. So this show is going to be so short because of how quickly it takes to make a salad. So there's a system here. It's a 7-step system. It's very simple, and we are going to do that together. It would be great if we were actually doing it together, but we are going to, as you watch, I'm going to make a salad dressing. So we always start with our base oil. That's our foundation. But first, we have to have something to put it in. Now, I don't get fancy. I am a sucker for a great recycled jar. I seek them out for salad dressings because a short little squatty one is perfect for a couple of days worth of salad dressing. This guy I use if I'm making salad dressing for the week or 2 weeks, because guess what? This stuff keeps for at least a week longer. And I kind of use it like, you know how families used to hand down sourdough starters or what are they, the mother of kombucha, that hand them down and you grow your next sourdough or you make your next kombucha. I do that with salad dressing. What I mean by that is when it's down here, I don't start fresh. I just keep adding and adding until it makes a new salad dressing. And it is so great because a lot of stuff has had a chance to marry and it's delicious and I love it. It always creates a new and interesting salad dressing. But we're starting fresh today. I'm just making salad dressing for tonight because, as I mentioned, we have some parties this weekend, so we won't be eating at home very much. So I'm going to use this guy. And we start with base oil. So you have a couple options. Obviously, you've got your olive oil and you've got your avocado oil are always my go-tos, but there's a couple other options. You could use macadamia nut oil. You could use all sorts of any kind of nut oil that's out, the walnut oil, and mix it up because your body responds to different oils. And so don't always use olive oil or always use avocado oil, mix it up. And if you are using olive oil, I'm sure many of you know your oils should always be organic. They should be well sourced. And there is such a huge difference, particularly in the taste of good olive oil versus just okay olive oil. And so I tend to reach for a slightly more expensive brand. I use a little less of it, so it goes further, but the taste is just so different. Okay, so we're gonna use avocado oil today, and we're gonna just simply pour some in because it's that easy. So watch me, here I go. We're gonna pour it in, there we go. So I got about that much in there, okay? Now, if you are someone who measures, and wants everything super precise, I'm gonna ask you to step out of your box and look at this as an art project, as an opportunity to be creative, and guess what? It almost never goes wrong. You can keep adding and tweaking until you get it to taste just the way you want. But that being said, I like 1 part oil, 1 part vinegar plus. And what I mean by that, 1 part oil, 1 part vinegar, and another splash of vinegar. I like mine on the more vinegary side, not on the oily side. If you prefer a more oily dressing, then just do 1 to 1, okay? And so without further ado, we now have the flair, because the flair is the vinegar. That's what's gonna give you just so much flavor. And I think of it as like the jewelry for the little black dress. And you have tons of choices. So with me today, I have an organic red wine vinegar, which I actually think for some reason, I think we left, you guys know we were away for a few months. I think this one might be a little bit turned, but I wanted to show you. I like this brand. It's organic. It's great. It's not expensive. We also have balsamic, of course, organic. And balsamic, some people are real picky about their balsamic too. I don't notice a big flavor profile change, but you might. And they have different flavors and they have all different ways that you can mix it up. And of course, whatever you start with your base flair is going to make your salad dressing taste like that. And today we're going to use some apple cider vinegar. Now, who knows what should be very clear about their apple cider vinegar? It should be not clear, right? Should be foggy and have some particles in there. If you are buying clear apple cider vinegar, you can use that to clean your home. Do not drink it, okay? You're missing all the best benefits of apple cider if you are drinking that pretty clear apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna use the foggy stuff. So here we go. We're gonna open it up and we're gonna just free pour. And again, it's about a 1 to 1. So I'm just gonna mark that. And like I said, can you see that? That is so awesome that you can see the split there. That's about a 1 to 1. So I'm gonna add a little extra flair. Here we go, splash, and there we are. And so now we've got vinegar going. And I am just gonna do a quick check that we are broadcasting because it's very quiet out there. So let's just take a, oh yeah, looks good. All right. Now we are going to add your zest, okay? Your zest is your spices and herbs, and you cannot go wrong. The trick is to use a lot. If you are using dried herbs, use a lot. If you are using fresh herbs, use even more. Now, my favorite fresh herb destroyer, cutter, slicer is this guy. This is called an herb cutter, and I love him, and I use him all the time. And so you can take rosemary, basil, cilantro, and just roll back and forth, and it just slices it so thin you can put it right in your dressing. And I'll alternate. Sometimes I'll put the fresh herbs right in the salad. Sometimes I'll put it in the dressing. Both are good. Now, if you are using dried herbs, there are a couple things that are ones that I'm going to suggest to you. First of all, the brand, Simply Organic, is such a great spice brand. So clean, so lovely, good sourcing. One of my favorites of theirs is called All-Purpose Seasoning. Very simple. It's got all of the goodies in it, like rosemary and oregano, basil, and yumminess. So watch this. This is how much I'm going to put in. And this is for maybe 1.5 salads, okay? You see? A lot. And if I were doing fresh herbs, I'd pack that whole thing full. I'd cut everything up really, really small and then use quite a bit in there. And with fresh herbs, both herbs, keep in mind, it takes a while for them to flavor the dressing. So when you taste it right away, it's not going to taste like it tastes in an hour or two. Hi, whoever just joined. And so just be aware of that. As you're kind of taste testing and then you put it in the fridge a couple hours later, your garlic is going to taste stronger. Your spices are going to taste a little stronger. So give it a little chance to marry with your zest and then taste it. So what I typically do is I make the salad dressing early, and then just before I put it on the salad, I retaste it and maybe add a couple things, some salt, some pepper, and do that. Now, I always love using Himalayan sea salt. Just grind it right on there, and some nice fresh peppercorns as other spice options. And you have lots of choice. So all I've done so far is my base, my flair, which is the vinegar, and my zest, which is the spices. Now, the optionals, because right now I could shake this up and I've got salad dressing. Okay, I could be done right now. That took seconds. But you can do some other things to personalize. And I call this the sass. So here's the sass. First of all, the sass is your sweetener. And if you choose to have sweeten up your dressing a little bit, then you can use a little bit of honey, maple syrup. That's if you're paleo, palm sugar. If you are not paleo, you have all sorts of sweeteners you can use, but just use a little bit. It doesn't need much. Remember, a lot of times salads might have a little bit of fruit in them or something that'll sweeten it up anyway. So when you are just taste testing your dressing, remember that once it's on the salad, that's obviously going to change the flavor a little bit. Sometimes I will taste test with a piece of lettuce, because think about it, arugula is already very spicy, and so I'll taste test and I'm like, ooh, that dressing needs to sweeten up a little bit so it can break down a little of the pepperiness of arugula. That makes sense. Okay, the sass, that's the sweetener. Now, the trick is, one other thing you can do too is I like citrus. Lemon juice is great, but here's another little trick, is this. You can get this at Safeway. It's a product I have not been able to find in Canada. It's called Nellie and Joe's Key Lime. I use it for cocktails. I use it for salads. I use it for so many things, sauces. It's delicious. It's literally straight key lime juice, and it's yummy. And so you can put a dash of that. In fact, I'm going to put a little dash of this organic lemon into my salad dressing, just a splash. Okay, you don't need much because you already have the vinegar in there. And the other thing that you can do for a little added trick to your salad dressing is you can add things to make it a bit creamier. Now, I'm coming from a non-dairy standpoint, so I'm going to use things like Dijon mustard. I might blend this dressing with a half an avocado and make it more creamy with avocado. And the last option is you can soak some cashews and for a couple hours, put them in a blender, put what you've made here in a blender, blend, 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 and it can make it creamier. So if that's what you're looking for as opposed to an oily, vinegary type dressing, then you can see the world is open to you as far as choices. So we have all-purpose seasoning. We have a base of olive oil. We have a flare of apple cider vinegar. We put in no sass today, no sweetener. We have put in a little trick of lemon juice. I don't have my Dijon mustard out here. I would probably put that in today. And now we want to add a little salt and pepper. because that always kind of brings the flavor out, right? How's everybody doing out there? Hey, for those of you watching in replay, make sure that you comment. I would love to know any of your great salad dressing recipes that you like to use at home. Now here is a few from the Well Fit and Fed blog. The tropical kale salad is delicious. That is a great example of using no sass in your dressing because there is papaya or mango in the salad. That's going to sweeten it enough. You don't need that in the dressing. The orange spice dressing is a nice combination of orange, sweet, and hot. So we put some cayenne pepper in there, right? Like that's a bit of a surprise. Cayenne pepper in dressing, yes, the heat actually tastes very nice in a dressing. And so we have, I think we've got it, guys. Oh, you know what? Fresh garlic. And I didn't put that in here. That's back kind of in your zest, like what spices you're putting in. Fresh garlic is so good. But do remember, when you crush a garlic and you put it in your dressing, it's going to taste one way at that moment. 2 hours later, it's going to taste a little more garlicky. So just be cognizant of that. Okay, so just recapping, so simple, dozens of dressings in 7 steps. Your base, which is your oil. Your flair, which is your vinegar. Your zest, which is spices like garlic, all-purpose seasoning, Italian seasoning, rosemary, basil, oregano. You can branch out, do dill, and do even like a curry type curry powder, or I mean, you can just go bananas. And then you have, hold on, going back. We've got the trick, which is adding your avocado or your Dijon mustard or your soaked cashews to make a more creamy dressing as an option. And then, of course, one of my favorites, the sass, which is adding your sweetener. And sweeteners, again, are optional. You do not have to add them. In fact, I've grown more and more that I very rarely add honey or maple syrup or palm sugar or anything to the dressing. It just doesn't need it. And so recapping again, Well Fit and Fed has a couple great salad recipes on there. It's got the tropical kale salad. The avocado everything dressing is so good on a salad. And one of my favorites is taking a bed of spinach, some recently grilled vegetables that are cold, could be warm, but nice cold as well. Little deli roasted chicken, and put that avocado everything dressing on there. Delicious. And then the orange spice dressing is another option as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to go and have lunch with my husband. And, oh, I want to show you one more thing. Look at this little guy. I got this from a juice cleanse that I did not too long ago. This is like, you know, when you go to those juice bars, they have like little power shots of ginger or aloe vera juice or whatever. Anyway, they came in these cute little bottles. Guess what I use this for? I put a single serving of salad dressing in here, and I'll take it with me. I'll travel with it, or if I'm going out and I want to eat super, super clean and not take a risk with whatever the restaurant salad dressing is, I got it with me. So that's a great option as well. So awesome to see you. Have a great weekend. Wish me luck with all the party extravaganza I've got going on this week. And next week, you guys, for reals, I am interviewing Dr. Michael Bruce, who wrote the book, The Power of When, and it is going to be amazing. Do not miss that show. It's next Friday at noon PST. It's going to be so good. We are talking about learning what your chronotype is, and from learning your chronotype, which you can learn by taking the quiz on his website called thesleepdoctor.com. If you go there, you can take his quiz before the show so you know what your chronotype is. Once you know that, then you design your day very specifically, timing-wise, when you sleep, when you eat, when you exercise, when you work, when you're creative, when you talk to your friends or family, when you have sex, everything. So come listen to that show next week. It's going to be amazing. And thanks so much for listening, guys. Please share this with your friends and anybody who likes salad. And join the Junk You Should Know show every Friday at noon PST. I'll see you guys later.